Ross, thanks for joining me again. Now, you've announced your plan to raise $2.2 million. To start, can you provide a breakdown of how you will allocate the funds between advancing existing exploration programs in Chile and assessing new opportunities?
Hi, Alex. Good to see you again. Yeah, the initial work that we're going to do in Chile, which we've already announced, is designed to be low cost, high impact, and we're proceeding with that next week. We're getting that started. We have obviously more money now than before, but this is going to be spent in a way that is defined by the work that we're doing now. So we have the ability to move forward with confidence and methodically and not rush. So that is the plan at the moment. But also what this really does is it gives us the ability to look at new opportunities surrounding where we are in Chile, but also perhaps a little further abroad, because as you probably know, Chile is becoming a fairly favoured jurisdiction for Australian companies. There are a lot of opportunities over there at the moment, and we've been shown some pretty interesting things. So we're very comfortable with where we're at, but we'll just start off with what we've planned and see where it goes.
Okay, so given the level of interest from sophisticated and professional investors, how does the company interpret this in terms of market validation of Lodestar's geological model, but also your broader corporate strategy?
We've been working with Oakley Capital for a couple of weeks on this transaction. It's been a pleasure dealing with them. They've been very professional. They like us as a company and what we're doing. They recognise that first round drill results aren't always company makers, but what we're doing is attractive to them and to their investor base. They were able to bring in far more money than we initially were talking about, with a lot of oversubscription, which is what you're seeing in the aftermarket with the stock moving up after we released the announcement. So what that just tells us is that we're on the right track, we're doing the right thing, and people who should know what they're doing agree with us.
And just finally, Ross, how will the capital injection influence the operational timeline and technical scope of your exploration activities in Chile? And what specific milestones should we anticipate over the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, I think it gives us the capacity to dig a little deeper, if you'll excuse the pun, but we've amassed a small team in Chile. We have a porphyry expert on hand. We've got a team of geologists to help with analysing, collecting, mapping, all of those sorts of things. So we're not just a small team that work for the company. We've got some in-country expertise. And I think that it's important to note that we're not giving up on the West Australian assets, and we've got a particularly interesting one up in the Arahidi, which we're going to do some work there in the coming months. But a couple of our neighbours are about to embark on drilling campaigns, which will be quite informative to us because they're very close to what we think is quite an interesting part of our tenements. So what's going to happen over the next few months? What's the news flow? We're off to Chile next week. We're going to start that groundwork that we announced a couple of weeks ago. We will assess that information. It won't take long to get the results of that. We will obviously release those results, and depending on what it tells us, we hope that that will generate some good drill targets for us. But as I said, there should be a fair bit of scoping of what other opportunities might be there. So we would very much like to think that we might be able to get our foot on something perhaps a little more advanced along the way. And our Arahidi project will be adding a little bit of spice, and our neighbours hopefully as well in the coming weeks too.
Thanks, Ross. Look, congratulations on advancing this capital raise, and all the best for your upcoming programs in Chile. Thanks for joining me.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex.